off on the road, Central Missouri, Washburn this week. What do you expect from heading back on the road in the MIAA?
There's no shortage of challenges in our league. Obviously, that gets magnified when you get to play on the road. And for us, it's a couple weeks in a row here. It's obviously this week and then back with Hayes and Kearney the next week. So, although there's times that we have played better away from home to this point of the year too. So we'll just embrace that and see if we can't play our best basketball so far this season.
I'd agree with that. Every road game in the MIAA is a challenge. So, but same thing, home games as well. So each game will be a battle, and we know what to expect there.
Sure, it looked like you were getting comfortable kind of in the post a little bit, getting rebounds, career high 15 points on 6 made shots. Did you feel pretty comfortable against Kearney a little bit?
Yes. After coming out of the break, I've been feeling more confident. I think it just starts with bringing energy, and then everything else has seemed to follow. So looking to continue that.
Such a unique, just situations we've come into our year and talking to former coaches here and different players and people and trying to get a gist of, what we had as far as a roster, because we hadn't really seen anybody until we started for real, right after Labor Day there. And, all off season, I heard over and over, oh, you're going to love Trey, you're going to love Trey, you're going to love Trey. And I think that was the reason that he mentioned is because, of the energy and effort that he brings. And as he's trying to figure out exactly what we want from him and it's not shocking that, hey, it wasn't seamless day one, but here we are halfway through our schedule and Trey is fitting, what we're asking him to do. And as a result, his stats have gotten better, his playing minutes have gone up, all those things. And in previous things I've said, hey, this group is getting closer, this group is getting closer. And it's true of Trey, and I think it's true of other guys on our group. And hoping that we can get on the road this week and find a way for it to break through and get some wins.
Before you were named the head coach here, you had a little bit of experience at Washburn. So going back to Washburn, is there a little bit of a homecoming feel there a little bit?
Well, I certainly have some connections there. Just two of my siblings and my dad have graduated from there. I worked there for a couple years. My mom also graduated from there. So pretty familiar with Washburn. I actually lived in married student housing for the first year of my life on the campus of Washburn back in the early 80s. So certainly have some familiarity there. And then obviously Coach Ballard is a guy that I know. He's a Western Kansas guy, a couple years older than me, but as a guy that, grew up in a hometown about an hour from me. And so, good basketball players out that way, was aware of who he is and then how good a job that he's done out there at Washburn. So, I don't know. I would say that I'm not excited to go play at Washburn. They're off to an unbelievable start and second in the country and undefeated and all the things that go along with how their year is going. But certainly have a familiarity with that place, and I'm sure there'll be a moment, when I walk in that, pause and look around and smile and, think through the journey and plan to go over there and play several times, hopefully.
Coach, when you're thinking about adversity, it's just a weird word, right? You can think of this or that, or what affects adversity, or how you handle adversity. But I question for both of you. But I mean, going down the stretch here in a trying time, Trey, right? How have the kids handled this adversity, and what kind of things are you leaning into as a program to try to get out of the adversity and kind of in a not winning ways, but just be on the right track?
You want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I think it's been a little hard for some of the guys in the locker room just because we're coming from like a national championship program. But personally, I kind of like the challenge. It makes us better in the long run. So I'd say it just definitely gets more out of you. Like each day in practice is a battle mentally as a team. So I think by the end of the season, we'll be grateful that we went through this early.
One of our cultural words we talk about is toughness, and you have to be really tough to be elite for as long as this program has been. There's certainly a toughness on that side of it. Can you have the success you've had and still show up and do what's required every day? certainly the inverse of that is now being challenged for us right now. Like, now when it's not going the way that maybe we thought or had planned, then who are we in that way? And like, we don't know how this year is going to end. And are we tough enough? And do we have the character and all that stuff to still show up today, and be who we would be if we were 10-3? And that's been the challenge. And there's days it's been tough for me. I'm sure there's days it's been tough for our guys. And maybe that's the rallying cry is, man, none of us are enjoying the results that have been going on so far. But we're all in it together. And to this point of the year, and I expect it to be the rest of the way, like, we haven't separated, we haven't splintered, we haven't gone individualistic. And that's the way out, is together. And, you can't whine your way out. You can't, wuss your way out. So you better show up and work your way out. And, that's the challenge, because there's some days you don't feel like it. And you're like, what are we doing? Is this worth it? And those are natural human questions. But I think elite people, and I think we have a lot of elite people, respond in a way that says, hey, we're going to work and let the results, come when they come. But that's the answer. And so together and working hard is kind of been what we're trying to do.